long time ago, there was a man. His name was Shamgar. Now Shamgar needed to save Israel as he was called by God to do so. What he didn't know was how little he would have to fight off the Philistine army. All he had was his trusty ox goad. With his ox goad, he slew many Philistines and saved all the villagers. Israel. Israel. Yes, Israel. Hey all, it's Shamgar's ox goad on the first video of this channel. I am going to be talking about Spyro the Dragon today and his fight against Gnasty Gnorc, the bad villain of this series. Well, actually just the first game, who turned all of Spyro's family into crystals. Yeah, crystals. It's great. Actually, the game is super fun. It made my top 10 list, actually at number 2 of my favorite video games of all time. I created the list a little while ago, and we'll probably get to others on that list in future videos. But today we're going to be talking about the first Spyro game as it was remade in the Reignited trilogy. The Spyro is this small purple dragon who goes around and fights enemies much larger than themselves with nothing than his flame breath, glide, horns, and his little pet friend named Sparks. Sparks kind of helps him with his health as his health bar and collects gems for him. The game acts as like a collectathon platformer. So you go around and you have to collect a bunch of stuff, and to advance in the game, you take different portals to different areas. Overall, the art style is really good. The dragons are well done. You get advice from the dragons. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. In fact, some of the dragons tell you that the bosses are really bad and enemies, but they turned out to be just a sheep. So, but like the premise of these videos is going to be talking about how they correlate with certain biblical tie-ins. Today with Spyro, we're going to be talking about David and Goliath, and I don't understand why you wouldn't. It's a good versus evil narrative, which is pretty prevalent within biblical stories. And Spyro's a tiny dragon who is fighting against enemies much larger than himself. Hence, David versus Goliath. So, as we go forward into this game, Spyro is relying on his wit, the skills that he was given, which may not be the skills that someone would normally implement into something like this. As a farmer, a stable hand, a shepherd, David didn't necessarily have the skills that people would think he would need to fight someone like Goliath. In fact, in 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 31, Saul tries to clothe David in his armor. And it doesn't quite work out. David says, "No, I need to kind of do my own thing. I need to trust in how the tools that God's given me." And I think that this is pretty reminiscent of Spyro and what he's done, because I think it's important to see how someone who's not necessarily the right fit, in quotes, for the job is doing the things that God's calling them to do. And like, everyone is a right fit if God is calling us to do that. If God's calling us to do something, if we're meant to be doing this thing, it's not a matter of fit from the eyes of us as fallen people, but as the fit of what God had made us to be. And I think Spyro is just a cool example of someone who's not the stereotypical hero. He's undersized, he's small, he can be arrogant and cocky at certain points, but he you know, has a good outlook. He's got help from friends. He's you know, courageous, strong. He's able to continue to build on that, and the game just portrays it really well, and it does a good job of showing that whole story and that narrative of being too small but still being able to accomplish great tasks. Again, if we have God, nothing is too big. He's got us always. He's with us, and I think that this is just a cool narrative, a cool story that gives us this chance to enjoy time with a game and it not be so like damaging to psyches. There's some games that are just so against what we should be doing as Christians, and I'm not saying all games are bad. All games, I love games. I love all types of games. This is just one of them, and I think this is a good game if you're a kid, if you're just trying to, or if you're a parent. This is a good game that's not gonna do much as far as like pull you away. It's gonna, you know, give you a good afternoon of fun. At least there are times when you know, you are employing a little bit of cartoon violence, but I mean, it's no more violent than what's in the Bible. I mean, it literally says that David walks up to Goliath and cuts off his head after he's done and puts it on a pike after he hits him with a rock and knocks him down. So, you know, violence is in the Bible. There's going to be some violence in video games. It's just the way it is. This has got some cartoon violence, but overall the game is fun, and I think everybody should give it a chance. There's 3 games in the Reignited series. They're the only Spyro games that really matter. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be back next week maybe with another video. Thanks. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked that video, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button. Maybe even subscribe if you feel so inclined to do so. Thanks. Shamgar's Oxgoad out.